needs to be changed in the person with me, or the other person, or the working with me, or my spouse, or my friend. I'm 100% perfect. This is the common belief, common sense of understanding, and an accepted norm when it comes to attitude that I am fine, rest needs to change, I am okay. More than that, we also have an attitude that if everybody around us, if they try to understand me, if they try to follow what I say, they would be a happier lot. मानते ही नहीं है मेरा. ये भी एक एटीट्यूड है हमारा. लेकिन आपको पता है, आपके आजू बाजू में सब यही मानते हैं. Everybody around you, they have the same understanding, same thought process. So we need to reinvent ourselves to come out of our egoistic attitude, to come out of our self-labeled degrees for ourselves, to come out of self-imposed thought processes for the betterment of the world. And for that, basically everybody needs to believe the fact that there is a possibility of a positive change in me for a better me. आप में से ये वाक्य कितना लोग मानने के लिए तैयार हो कि मैं 100% पूर्ण नहीं हूं? उंगली ऊंची करें. Everybody of us. Chapter 1 is fine. Now chapter 2. How many of you believe that there is a possibility of a positive change in me, so it makes a better me, better family, better circle, better society, better humanity, better country? सभी ने हाथ ऊंचा कर. तो अब प्रवचन करने में और सुनने में दोनों को मजा आएगा. एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप आए ना. You have come on a platform. Why do we need to reinvent ourselves? Because we believe that we are not 100% best, 100% right and true. Second, we believe that there is a possibility and there is a need of a positive change in myself for a better me. That's fine. Our Guru Param Pujya Bhagwan Swaminarayan Maharaj in the year 1986 had visited many countries around the world so that we can get better ideas for the coming up of Akshar at Gandhinagar in Gujarat. How many of you have been there? Almost like 70% of you. So it was under construction and we wanted some good ideas to present ourselves there. The present, our ideas and ideology and everything. As part of that leg, they visited Germany, Stuttgart, where the principal manufacturing plant of Mercedes-Benz is located. So our Guru Hari Bhagwan Swaminarayan Maharaj and the group of saints, they visited there. The PR guide was taking them around. Every time while showing something new in the manufacturing department, in some unit, the PR guide would say that basically the fundamental concept of this is that in case of an accident, we want to save the lives. Anything may happen to the vehicle, but the life has to be saved. This is our principal motto in designing something new, in creating something new. At one point of time, the PR guide said with all pride, and he had the right, that we have come up with a new invention where in case of an accident, a balloon sprouts out between the wheel and that's the steering and the chest of the driver. So it works as a cushion and the steering doesn't gush into the chest of the driver. So now that was absolutely a new concept at that time. Today we find it in hundreds of vehicles. And the saints were really amazed that this is a brilliant concept. One of our saints simply asked that who actually creates the accident? The car or the driver? And he said, Swamiji, it is obvious the driver creates the accident because of some misjudgment, because of some overconfidence, because of some less of focus, whatever. Then the saint asked the second question, where actually we need to make more improvement? Well, improving technology is absolutely a need. We must. But at the same time, improvement in the human being is also a must. Best of technology in the worst of hands. And you know cyber crimes are increasing day by day. Best of technology in the worst of hands is a disaster. So with the upgradation of technology, we must upgrade the human attitudes, human behaviors, human thought processes. It has to be refined. And the word today is reinvent. We need to reinvent this. And the PR guide of Mercedes-Benz plant, he said, Swamiji, you are right. We need to work equally well on the improvement of the human being as well. So we need to reinvent. Why? See, we human beings are the best creation upon this earth. Of all the existence created by nature and God, human beings are the only existence where we have been given the power to think, the power to collect information, the power to transform that information into knowledge, and the ultimate power to transform that knowledge into wisdom. So of all the existence, we are the only one that we have that power to convert information into knowledge and knowledge into wisdom. If we don't use it rightly to ultimately convert all information into wisdom, we cease to become human beings. We are just like any other animals and existence upon this earth. So not to become animals in the 21st century, we need to reinvent ourselves as human beings. We have transformed a lot of information into knowledge. And that is why this technology and so much in the management field, social relationship field, in the health field. But we are yet to convert a sizable amount of that knowledge into wisdom. Why I say this? $2,000 billion is the annual defense budget of the world. Intelligent people reside upon this earth, isn't it? Intelligent people sit in the United Nations, isn't it? Intelligent people sit in the United Nations Security Council, isn't it? Intelligent people are heads of the states, isn't it? Yes or no? And $2,000 billion is the annual defense budget of the world, and that too in the year 2021 at the peak of Corona. Are you here to fight and kill each other? You want to make this beautiful planet a hell? $2,000 billion, if it is cut by just 50% by cutting the new R&D in the defense budget. You need army, you need navy, you need air force. You need arms to protect your country, to guard against terrorism, to help during social unrest, everything. But if just the new R&D, top 25 countries of the world, if they decide, top 25 democratic countries of the world, if they decide to stop the new R&D of arms by just 50%, $1,000 billion will be saved every year. For the next 25 years, if it is done, health, education, housing, everything free for everybody upon this earth. Such is the potential. लेकिन फिर झगड़ेंगे कौन? What animals do in jungles, what street dogs do at 12 midnight and 1 a.m. जब पूरा शांत हो जाता है. Just 12 hours after that, we with 3-piece suits do in corporate offices. लगता है कि नहीं रीइन्वेंट करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को? Are we here for this? Sometimes the last phone call by a delegate before entering the United Nations Peace Summit is an arms deal. ये भी एक हकीकत है, इसलिए रीइन्वेंट करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को. The last phone call by a delegate before entering into the international peace meet, वो क्या है? आर्म्स डील का फोन है. वो पूरा करके सीधा पीस मीट में बैठता है. हाँ, शांति तो चाहिए भाई साहब, तेरे को रीइन्वेंट करना पड़ेगा. इसलिए ये समिट आज इंदौर में है. रीइन्वेंट की बातें सुन के इतना तो मन में रखना कि जीएसटी तो भरना है. जीएसटी से शुरुआत करना ठीक तरीके से, तो आपकी कॉन्फ्रेंस आपके लिए सफल होगी. वरना ये 70-80 साल का जीवन है, यूं पूरा हो जाएगा. If you really are attending this conference, reinvent. I'll talk of what is evolvement. I'll talk of what is leading. Let us first talk about reinvention. California, the state of the United States, throws into the Pacific Ocean hundreds of thousands of tons of wheat every year. Just because of one reason, that the price doesn't go down in the international market. But they don't send a single ship to Ethiopia or any African country. We need to reinvent ourselves to help humanity. In 1960, at the Annual General Assembly of the United Nations, the then Secretary General U Thant, he said that the plane of United Nations is flying at a very high altitude, it is going at a tremendous speed, but it doesn't know in which direction it is going. He confessed that in 1960. And it is right. More wars have been fought after the creation of the United Nations than in the creation of that before that. 1945, the United Nations was created at the end of the World War II, actually to stop the World War II. In the last 70-80 years after the creation of the United Nations, more war have been fought than in the 200 years before that. क्या किया आपने भाई साहब? We need to reinvent ourselves. 30,000 scientists all over the world are working 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 and 18 hours a day in their laboratories to make bombs, missiles and weapons of mass destruction. क्या कर रहे हो? These bombs and missiles are not made by illiterate people. They are made by scientists. Some of them graduates from some of the finest universities in the world. शिक्षण अच्छा पाया, संस्कार नहीं पाए. They got education from some of the best universities in the world. They are graduates, postgraduates, and they are PhDs. But they did not reinvent themselves to tell themselves that my knowledge should be used for the betterment of humanity, not to wipe out human populations from upon this earth. If this 30,000 scientists had decided to drive out corona from upon this earth right from the March, April of 2020, we would not have lost, the world would not have lost 2 years. अगर ये 30,000 साइंटिस्ट इसमें लग जाते, लेकिन वो बुद्धि नहीं चली, वो भावना प्रकट नहीं हुई. क्यों? अपने आप को रीइन्वेंट करके ये बोला नहीं कि मैं साइंटिस्ट बाद में हूं, पहले एक ह्यूमन बीइंग हूं. रीइन्वेंशन इज मेकिंग योरसेल्फ अ ह्यूमन बीइंग फर्स्ट, then a professional, then a chartered accountant, then an MD, then a director, then a CEO, then a chairman. Tell me, if I ask you a question, whether you are a father first or a CEO first, you are a mother first or a CEO first, what is your answer? बोलिए जरा जोश से. बस ये लेके जाना थोड़ी सी सीख. तो first reinvention in yourself. You are a family member first and then a professional. तो बहुत सारी चीजें मैंने आपको बताई. We need reinvention in ourselves a lot and in many spheres. ये करना बहुत जरूरी है. We need to reinvent and accept people, accept societies, accept countries. If somebody is growing fast and you produce a report by a research institute from America, it is not going to stop India's growth story. कोई हिंड्रेंस नहीं आएगा, चिंता मत करना. मैं नजदीक का शब्द बोला, कोई हिंड्रेंस नहीं आने वाला है. आप जैसे 50 रिपोर्ट तैयार करें तो भी कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. This year, this decade and this century belongs to my country, India. इंग्लैंड के रेडियो स्टेशन ने एक डॉक्यूमेंट तैयार कर दी, उससे भारत को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. So when something has been proved right, something has been proved okay, why are you pinching? You are not able to accept India's growth story. क्योंकि आज according to the reports of many and most of the organizations, India is the fastest growing large economy of the world. और होने वाला है, होगा. तो आपको भाई साहब क्या परेशानी है? आपको क्या तकलीफ है? Reinvent yourself to do research, reinvent yourself to prepare a documentary in a way that helps humanity to grow. $45 trillion तो ऑलरेडी आप 200 साल में ले गए हो भाई साहब. रिसर्च हुई है, ये भी एक रिसर्च है और कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी से बाहर आई है. $45 trillion looted by during the colonial era from India. क्योंकि 200 साल में भारत की पर कैपिटा इनकम एक पैसा भी नहीं बढ़ी. What does that mean? You looted India. In 200 years of British Raj, not a single paise of per capita income in India increased. What does that mean? You looted, and now then you are producing documentaries. See, what I mean to say, we need to reinvent ourselves so that we become better human beings. Everybody knows killing. Very few know living. Very few know live and let live. And fewest of the few know live to let live. यहां तक अपने आप को reinvent करना है. That is why this conference. Reinvent yourself so you evolve as a good human being. अच्छा प्रोफेशनल बनने के लिए स्किल्स हैं, टैलेंट्स हैं, एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, नो हाउस हैं, प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स हैं. ये सब तो आपको कोर्सेज में मिलती हैं, प्रोग्राम्स में मिलती हैं, कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के प्रवचन में मिलती हैं, किताबों में मिलती हैं. ये कुछ नई बात नहीं है. हाउ टू डेवलप स्किल, हाउ टू डेवलप टैलेंट, हाउ टू हायर गुड पीपल, हाउ टू सेट गोल्स, हाउ टू रन टुवर्ड्स इट, हिंड्रेंसेस आए तो क्या करना, ये सब कॉमन बातें हैं. ये सभी बातें एक ही अम्ब्रेला के नीचे आ जाता है. तो वन थिंग दैट इज बेसिकली नीडेड इज improve yourself to the best human being, and that improvement lasts till the last breath of your life. Better a human being, you will naturally become a better professional as a subset of it. Become a good human being and you will naturally become a good professional. Good professional बनने की चिंता मत करना. मुझे एक अच्छा सीईओ बनना है, अच्छा डायरेक्टर बनना है, अच्छा एमडी बनना है. पहले अच्छे मनुष्य बने, naturally you will become a good professional. I'll tell you logically and by proof what I'm talking. If somebody is a computer engineer, somebody is an IT engineer, he goes to the Silicon Valley in the United States and he gets a salary of $50,000 or $100,000, he feels that I'm earning well. But you know how, like 100 of you, 200 of you, 500 of you, where do they get their salaries from? From a smart white American manager who is not even a BCom. So intelligent people are ruled by people who has better EQ, emotional quotients. Because they know people, they understand people. They understand their own feelings and understand the feelings of the other person. So आपको $1 लाख की तनख्वाह देके वे लोग आपके दिमाग में से $10 लाख निकाल लेते हैं हर साल. They are smart managers. But after the 90s, after the turn of the millennium, they came to know that people even with high EQ are ruled by people with high SQ, spiritual quotient. एक अच्छी किताब आपसे शेयर करना चाहूँगा. You can write in your piece of paper and a pen if you have it. The title of the book is Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, co-authored by Ian Marshall and Dana Zohar. Again I repeat, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence. Co-authored by Ian Marshall and Dana Zohar. Wherein they have written that IQ is good, EQ is better, but SQ is the best. Why? Because it possesses the qualities of becoming a good human being. 8 qualities, if you possess, you become a good human being, you become a spiritually intelligent person, and the vice versa of it. If you are a spiritually intelligent person, you possess these 8 qualities in life. I'm not going into the details of it. I'm just telling you and listing out the qualities that have been described by these 2 authors after a lot of research. First is flexibility to change, especially considering your decision and makeup and homework in the boardroom. Flexibility to change is intelligence. Second is self-aware. Absolutely. What I'm talking, what I'm meaning, where I'm standing, what I'm supposed to talk, this or that, not. Third thing, an ability to use and face the suffering of life. Big quality. Fourth thing, an ability to be inspired by vision. Fifth thing, an ability to see connection between diverse things. Sixth, an ability to cause as little harm as possible. Seventh, an ability to ask and probe fundamental questions. And eighth, an ability to work against a convention. तो आप IQ में से अपने आप को रीइन्वेंट करके EQ तक ले आए, EQ से भी रीइन्वेंट होके SQ तक ले आए, you become a wonderful human being, and as a byproduct of it, you will become a smart professional. ये दावे के साथ मैं कहता हूं, क्योंकि professionalism is not just skills and talents and experience. All those come out of you becoming a golden heart. People should love you. लीडर और बॉस के बीच बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है, पता है ना? A good IQ can make you a boss, but addition of EQ and SQ makes you a leader. बहुत बड़ा तफावत है. There's a big difference. Go for that. Imbibing more and more moral values in you, more and more human values in you, more and more spiritual values in you, makes you a better human being and thus a naturally smart professional, a smart executive. ये ट्रैक आप लो, आप ये ट्रैक लंबा लेते हो, फ्रिक्शन वाला हार्ड ट्रैक लेते हो. आई वॉन्ट टू बी अ स्मार्ट प्रोफेशनल बाय इंक्रीजिंग माई IQ. शॉर्टकट दिखाता हूं, और जो आपको बनना है वो तो बाय प्रोडक्ट है एक्चुअली. हाँ, टॉप क्लास मैनेजमेंट गुरु स्टीफन कॉवी, ऑग मैंडिनो, कैन ब्लैंचार्ड, एंथनी रॉबिन्स, रॉबिन स्मिथ थोड़ी थोड़ी ये भी बात करते हैं कॉन्फ्रेंस में. What I mean to say is reinvent yourself to become a good human being. Rest, everything will follow. Reinvent yourself to become a good human being. Rest, everything will follow. Change your perspectives. एक अच्छा प्रसंग आपसे शेयर करना चाहूंगा. Rabindranath Tagore writes that this many years after his start of writing, and he writes in one of his articles that when I was a small child, I was playing around with my friends. Suddenly one of my friends who had worn a speck fell down on the ground. I picked it up and just casually I wore it out of inquisitiveness. Why is he wearing it? Why am I not wearing it? We were just children of about 5 and 6. Suddenly, I started looking at things in a different way because things started appearing to me more clear. Then I went back home and told my mother that my friend is wearing those specs. It fell down, I wore it, and all of a sudden everything started looking more beautiful, wonderful and clear. His mother came to know that he must also have specs. And they went to an optometrist. And when they checked the eyes, he actually had numbers and he got the specs. We all need specs of new perspectives to change our attitudes and thought processes and behaviors. That wearing the new glasses is reinventing yourself. That wearing is reinventing. But first, take a chance and give yourself a chance to wear those glasses. Nahi, मैं तो सही हूँ. I'm perfectly all right. My opinion is 100% right. मैंने होमवर्क किया है, ये डिसीजन पे आया हूँ, 100% राइट. एक ये छोटा सा ईगो आप छोड़ दो, योर वर्किंग प्लेस विल बिकम अ हेवन ऑन अर्थ. हमारे गुरु प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज का एक सिद्धांत था, मेरा वो अच्छा नहीं, जो कुछ अच्छा है वो मेरा. Reinvent yourself. Not mine is the best, but what is the best, I would accept it as mine. और ये ईगो मत रखना कि मुझे ही अच्छे विचार आते. 3-piece कोट पहनते हो, टाई पहनते हो, उन लोगों को ही MBA जो होते हैं उन लोगों को ही अच्छे बड़े विचार आते, ऐसे नहीं. हाँ, वो तो पहले पता है ना आपको. Out of the 100 great thoughts that has changed the world, changed the course of history, 77 of them have come from class 3 and class 4 people. For example, once there was a wide discussion happening, like 250 members at the ICC in London, how to bring more money in cricket, how to bring the amount of money that is in football in cricket. Now that was the principal point of discussion. Fine, it was a good business meet. After 3-4 hours of brainstorming session, they could not come to a conclusion. A class 3 employee was sitting in the corner noting down the minutes of the meeting. In the break, he approached the chairman because he was regular with the chairman, so he had an easy approach and he said, "Sir, if you don't mind, I have a small suggestion in my mind. If you permit, I can tell you. I don't want to say it loudly in public in the midst of your meeting, but I just want to tell you in private, if at all you allow me." He said, "Fine, you can go on." "Sir, reduce the timing of the cricket match. Put it into 20 overs. And the chairman said, "Are you a fool? We had 5 days of test match. We reduced it to 50 one-day international. You still want to reduce it?" "Sir, the principal reason of reducing is that at every ball, the batsman should attempt a 4 or a 6. That energy level will bring more money. Simple." He said, "No, disgusting. Every great idea has been thrown away in the dustbin at the first attempt as a disgust." वो हुआ, ये भी एक परंपरा है पृथ्वी भी, क्योंकि रीइन्वेंट नहीं किया ना अपने आप को, to accept good things in the first hand. और वो भी class 3 employee telling to me, chairman, reinvent yourself to deflate your ego, to accept people, accept advices, accept thought processes. फिर से चर्चा हुई 3 घंटे के लिए. They could not come to a good conclusion. This chairman proposed and they said, "Let us try," and they made it a try, and we all know what is T20 today. It has the amount of money that a football has. It has the amount of money that football has, and if an ordinary player just plays one IPL today, in just one season, he has more money than some cricket test playing a player in the 70s and 80s playing for 20 years. Isn't it? That idea came from not an MBA, huh? Not a CA, not a CS. एक अच्छा प्रसंग और भी सुनाना चाहूंगा. मर्सिडीज ने नई SUV बनाई. They made a new SUV and they were just rolling out the first one out of the factory, the manufacturing unit. And when they came just at the gate, the outlet, the hood was a bit like about 2 or 3 inches above the beam. That means it would not get out. It would get scratched or crushed, because it was a concrete beam. How to get out of it? 15 engineers were discussing this. How to do this, how to do this. And finally they came to a conclusion that ye beam ko tod do, break this beam, because we want more units to come out. And every day 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, 100 cars would roll out. We have to break this beam. फिर structure को बुलाया, मतलब the structure engineer came and he said, "If you want to break this beam, we have to check the structure of the whole building, and that would take time, a few weeks. That if you break this beam, what effect it could have on rest of the structure, and that is fine." So everybody stopped. The security gatekeeper was a few meters away. He walked in and, "Sir, if you don't mind, I have a small suggestion." Bolo, kya hai? What do you want to say? "Sir, just deflate all the 4 tires. The car will roll out, and again you can fill the air in the tires." Kiya hua. मर्सिडीज बेंज के 15 इंजीनियर्स ने चर्चा की थी, बीम तोड़ दो. गेटकीपर ने कहा, हवा निकाल दो. थोड़ी हवा निकालने के लिए यही कॉन्फ्रेंस में आए हैं. ये थोड़ी हवा भर गई है ना. मैं MBA हूं, मैं CA हूं, मैं 25 साल से कंपनी में डायरेक्टर हूं, मैं 20 साल से CEO हूं, मैं 10 कंपनी के बोर्ड पे हूं. ये हवा कम करने के लिए ये कॉन्फ्रेंस है. रीइन्वेंट योरसेल्फ, बिकम अ हम्बल ह्यूमन बीइंग, एंड यू विल अट्रैक्ट ऑल द रिसोर्सेज दैट यू वांट इन योर लाइफ. इट इज एज सिंपल एज दैट. Our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, I come from the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha, which is one of the largest organizations in the world. We have got a permanent seat in the United Nations as an NGO. We run more than 1,300 hospitals, hostels, schools and colleges. ये मैंने आपको इसलिए बात की. Our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who created this organization to this level, that too in a span of 45 years, from his age of 51 to 95, At the age of 51, most of us start thinking of our retirement plans. Pramukh Swami Maharaj started his career at 51 when he became the guru of this organization. From the age of 51 to 95, he created 1300 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, community centers, sanskar kendras, mandirs, hari mandirs, and Akshardham. That means, now I am talking in your professional and corporate language, that means a new institute, in your language, a new office or a new factory, every 15th day for 45 years. हर 15वें दिन to get a land, to decide what to do on it, get it legally cleared, tenders dished out, funds raised because we are a non-profit organization. Architect designs the plans passed in the local government bodies, construction starts. 2-5 employees needed who are like according to the ideology of the organization, other 25-50 employees paid needed, recruited, inauguration ceremony done, the organization put in the service of society. This entire story that I described, right from the purchasing of the land to the institute put in the service of society, entire story every 15th day for 45 years. आपके घर में बाथरूम में वॉश बेसिन में एक टेप लीक होती हो तो 15 दिन लगते प्लम्बर को लाने में, ये 15वें दिन एक नई इंस्टीट्यूट चालू कर दी. He has been the recipient of more than 40 key to the cities in America. He is in the Guinness Book of World Records 6 times. He was felicitated in the British Parliament, Canadian Parliament, Kenyan Parliament with standing ovations. ये मैंने आपको बैकग्राउंड कहा, ये इसलिए कहा कि उनके जीवन में से, प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज के जीवन में से रीइन्वेंशन सीखना है. क्या? When somebody asked him to write I bless you, he wrote I bless you. He kept I of the second alphabet, the dotted one, the small, rest everything capital. And somebody told him that Swamiji, it is according to the English grammar's norms that the first letter after the full stop is always capital. He said that I know, but you must always keep your I small. Reinvent yourself to make your I small. 99.9% of the problems upon this earth is because everybody has an inflated I. But you must understand that every third person sitting besides you is in some way more intelligent, more talented, more skillful, more educated, more qualified and more experienced than you. Do you believe this? Yes or no? ठंडे कलेजे से हाँ नहीं कह रहे. If you believe, then reinvent yourself, deflate your I a bit. हमने प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज को कभी गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स हाथ में लेके अपना रिकॉर्ड देखते हुए नहीं देखा. हमने कभी प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज को ये कहते हुए नहीं सुना कि मेरे पास 40 की टू द सिटीज अमेरिका की है, एक की तो मुझे देखने के लिए दो. मेयर ने दी स्टेज पे, स्वीकार कर ली, दे दी अटेंडेंट को, फिर कभी नहीं मांगी. दिल्ली अक्षरधाम में 3 बड़े एग्जीबिशंस हैं, चौथा नहीं बनाया. मेरी की टू द सिटीज, मेरे गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स, मेरे स्टैंडिंग ओवेशंस पार्लियामेंट्स में, ये सभी के पिक्चर भी अब लगाए. 110 एकड़ जमीन है यमुना के किनारे. ये विचार कभी उनको नहीं आया, हमको आने भी नहीं दिया. That is reinventing yourself as a human being, deflating your I. And the biggest advantage of deflating your I is that more and more people would like to come to you, more and more people would like to work with you. You will attract all kind of resources upon this earth which will naturally help you to grow in all walks of life. The biggest reinvention is this. बाकी तो सब होता रहेगा. Biggest reinvention is this. Deflate your I. कम करना. तो आपके बोलने में नम्रता आएगी, वर्तन में नम्रता आएगी, एक्सप्रेस होने में नम्रता आएगी. And people would love you. People would accept you. Today as a boss, people are accepting you because he wants a salary from your pocket. He doesn't have any other option. I'm not talking of all the stories. In general, reinvent yourself. When you reinvent yourself, how do you evolve yourself? What is actually evolvement? It is you become a source of inspiration for others. That is the biggest evolvement of your life. How many of you would like to leave behind a small legacy of inspiration for the people? Just raise your hands. All of us. And it is a human duty. More than human duty is a human endeavor. And more than human endeavor, it is a human dignity. वो मनुष्य का गौरव है कि हमारे पीछे एक अच्छा विचार, एक अच्छी क्रिया, एक अच्छा सिस्टम हम छोड़ के जाए. Isn't it? That is evolvement. And for that, you have to work upon yourself to arise, to bring out your latent energies, your dormant energies, which each and everybody of us do possess. Swami Vivekananda used to say that each and every soul is potentially divine. We have that divinity. If they say Albert Einstein, the most intelligent person upon this earth, used just 3% of his brain, then I think we must be using 0.000003 only before we go to funerals. Not people's, ours. Evolvement is digging out your inner energies, inner talents. And for that you have to keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your minds open. And when you do that, I tell you with all confidence that as there are number of droplets of water in sea, as there are number of oxygen atoms in air, there are number of ideas in and around you floating, which you can pick up and gain from it, become something from it, and achieve heights. इतनी ताकत है हम सभी में. In 2008, two friends came together in Paris. One friend had come from United States for some work. He had 1 week's work. And he called his local friend in Paris that this Saturday evening we can come together for a fine dinner. हम 6 महीने से मिले नहीं है तो मिलते हैं, बैठते हैं, बातें करते हैं, खाएंगे साथ में. They came together at a hotel in Paris. 1.5 to 2 hours of good sitting together, enjoying the dinner. When they came out in the boards, there was a long queue of people. And one gentleman, one young man approached the receptionist lady and said, "Ma'am, why this long queue for?" And the lady said, "See, those who had come by their own cars, they already left, and those who have come by cabs, this is the queue because there is heavy snowfall on the entire city of Paris. And traffic is jammed, not moving, and we are in the middle of the foot street, so any cabs entering from either side gets hired in the first place. So we are finding it difficult, so this is a long queue for cab." Saying this, the receptionist lady, she said to the young man, "Sir, have you come by cab or by your own car?" And he said, "We have come by cab." "Sir, then please join the queue." And both the young men, they joined the queue. The way in which the queue was moving, they found that this is 2.5 to 3 hours of stranding. Now what to do? If we are stranded at some place for 2.5 to 3 hours, what would we do? Open up our WhatsApp, maybe a few answers, exchanges, maybe a couple of mails to answer, we do that, fine. And if nothing, the red button is always there to help you out to pass your time. YouTube, red button. The red button called the YouTube and the yellow button and the green button called WhatsApp has tremendous power to exhume all your 80 years of time. Isn't it? Reinvent yourself to restrict yourself there. Well, and somebody would, a youngster would just turn around and take a selfie with the long queue, post it on his social media handles and get good emojis. Oh my God, oh my God. Well, you can do many things. What did these two gentlemen say and say? See, when you keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your minds open, you draw inner energies out. You create. And what did this one gentleman said? Can we help the situation? But because this situation might be propping up in snow-falling countries in Europe and in North America every year during winter time. And the second young man said, "Is there money here? Is there money in this queue?" That means, is there business here? And they decided to discuss it out. 2.5 to 3 hours of productive discussion. They came to a conclusion that let us design a mobile app where a person can order a cab beforehand. They decided the technicalities of it. The friend next day flew back to United States. 2.5 of 3 hours of stranding complete. They got their cab, went back to their apartment. He flew back. There they decided upon the technicalities. They designed the app in the next 6 months. It was put in 5, 7, 10 cabs in Los Angeles, successful. Another 50, 100 cabs, successful. Another 500,000 cabs, successful. And today when I'm talking to you, this mobile app provides rides to 3 million people every day in 66 countries of the world. I'm talking of Uber. And the two gentlemen, young men who were discussing this, stranded on a snowy night in Paris when none other than the owner of Uber, Mr. Travis Kalanick, who became a self-made billionaire with this idea at the very young age of 26, and his little-known friend and partner, Mr. Garrett. Keep your eyes, minds, and ears open. As many, again I would like to repeat, as there are number of droplets of water in sea, as there are number of oxygen atoms in air, there are n number of ideas. This draws out inner energy and you reinvent yourself. बाकी तो 40 साल वही बैग लेके, वही रोड पे, वही कार में, वही ऑफिस में आप जीवन खपा देंगे. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज and today our Guru Mahant Swami Maharaj reinvented. क्या? In the evening time, let people come for satsang in the assemblies. During daytime, let's go to them. This was a concept designed by Pramukh Swami Maharaj in the 70s. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज ने क्या सोचा, शाम को तो लोग आएंगे सत्संग के लिए, दिन में मैं लोगों के पास जाऊंगा, जीवन उन्नत करना है ना. उनका मकसद ये था, इन द गुड ऑफ अदर्स लाइज आवर ओन. ये उनका जीवन मंत्र था. तो चले लोगों के पास. आफ्टर द एज ऑफ 51 till the age of 95, Pramukh Swami Maharaj visited 18,000 villages, towns and cities in 60 countries. He read and answered 7.5 lakh letters at an unbelievable average of reading and answering more than 70 letters a day without a Sunday for 45 years. He personally visited 3.5 lakh homes and he initiated 1100 saints like us. And out of them, more than 900 are graduates, postgraduates, chartered accountants, doctors and engineers. उनमें से 150 से भी ज़्यादा हमारे संत born American और British citizen हैं. उनमें से 50 से भी ज़्यादा संत they have studied in Stanford, Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, Yale and Kellogg. हमारे कई संत Microsoft, Google और NASA में काम करके आए हैं. ये मैंने आपको इसलिए कहा कि आपको ये ना लगे कि कुछ चला नहीं होगा, जमा नहीं होगा, ठीक नहीं रहा होगा, इसलिए यहाँ के बैठ गए. ज्यादातर लोग ये समझते, जब भगवे कपड़े को देखते हैं कि चला नहीं होगा, पहले तो वो बेचारा बन जाता है. माय गॉड, ही डिड नॉट फिट हिमसेल्फ वेल एनी प्लेस, सो इज हियर. देयर इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. ओके, you learn it from UP, and now you will learn it from other states as well. What I mean to say is, reinvent yourself, think out of the box. मैं कुछ कर सकता हूं. Travis Kalanick doesn't have a different intelligence than you. Do you believe this? Do you believe this? Do you believe that out of the routine you can create something? Do you believe this? Do you believe that you can generate a new idea, you can design a new process, you can establish a new system that could not just be beneficial to you, could be beneficial to everybody? Do you believe this? If you believe, you can do. तो ये कॉन्फ्रेंस में आज रात को बिफोर यू गो टू बेड एक आपको होमवर्क देना चाहता हूं. वुड यू एक्सेप्ट अ होमवर्क फ्रॉम मी? बिकॉज एटलीस्ट फॉर दिस 45 आवर्स आई एम द टीचर एंड यू आर द स्टूडेंट्स. ये 45 मिनट के लिए तो ये है ही. द होमवर्क इज दैट राइट अ न्यू आइडिया टुनाइट बिफोर यू गो टू स्लीप. कितना भी विम्सिकल लगे आपको, कितना भी विम्सिकल, लिखो. And then every week give just 5 minutes to it. If you can give every third day 5 minutes, it is fine. Every week just give 5 minutes to it or add one line to it. वो भी अगर whimsical हो. For example, मैं एक whimsical idea throw करता हूं कि you want to design a cloth using nanotechnology in a way that the cloth You can never tear it. You don't need to iron it again. You don't need to wash it again. Even if oil splits on it, nothing happens to it. एक whimsical idea. लिख तो लो. लिखने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आप चिंता मत करना, वो नोट चुरा के कोई न्यूज़पेपर वाला आपके नाम से छपने वाले नहीं है. वो चिंता मत करना. Write an idea. Make that idea yours. Keep thinking on that idea every day. Add a new line to it every week and see the change in yourself. You will evolve. This is the evolvement. इससे ये बड़ी बात बन सकती है. The last part of my talk before I end. And if you want to lead, first is reinvent, second is evolve, and third is if you want to lead. Leading is not just in inheritance. Leading is not just in inheritance. अगर वो होता तो कोई और प्रधानमंत्री आज होता, लेकिन नहीं है. Leading is not just hereditary. Leading is not just talents. Leading is not just experiences. You know what is leading? You are walking at the back. You are walking at the last in your group. Let people stop, turn around, come to you, lift you on your shoulders and bring you in the front. That is a leader. Boss बनते हैं, leaders लोग बनाते हैं. Very big difference. You can become a boss anytime. To become a leader, you should be a people's choice, your employees' choice, your social circle's choice. भाई साहब, एक व्हाट्सएप के एडमिन भी इतने जल्दी नहीं बन सकते. एक ग्रुप को बनाया, वो एडमिन भी जल्दी नहीं बन सकते, तो लीडर कैसे बनेंगे? व्हाट्सएप में ग्रुप के एडमिन बनना वो भी एक बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है, और वो भी बनना आसान मत है नहीं. क्योंकि आप लोग जितने भी व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स में होंगे, सभी में आप एडमिन नहीं होंगे. Am I right or wrong? That means it is not easy to become the admin of all the WhatsApp groups that you are in. Then how it is easy to become a leader everywhere? But if you keep people first, you will naturally become a leader. Rather, you don't become a leader, people make you a leader. People accept you in your heart. Bosses are accepted in minds, leaders are accepted in hearts. For that, you need a couple of qualities to develop. And that is bring the goodness out of yourself. We have a lot of goodnesses. And we all have an experience that at some point of time, we have expressed the best of goodness from ourselves, isn't it? कभी हमने किसी को forgive कर दिया है, कभी किसी को मदद कर दी है, हाँ या ना? कभी किसी की भूल को भूल गए हैं, कभी किसी को स्वीकार कर लिया है, हाँ या ना? हम सभी ने स्पोरेडिक इंसिडेंट्स में ये सब कुछ किया है. सातत्य नहीं बना रहा, इसलिए लीडर नहीं बने. In few incidents, this goodness has been expressed by us. But that goodness, we could not keep it constant in our life, so we don't become leaders. Even those people who wanted to send mercenaries against the Indian army in Kashmir, for those, India sent Indian army to set up hospitals, to help people during the quake under Operation Dost. Goodness. इसको बोलते हैं goodness. Not retaliation. No revenge. No exchange of harsh words. Absolutely silent. But showing from within, I am a friend. And that is why the Operation Dost. पता है ना Operation Dost क्या है? No हल्ला बुल्ला. No harsh words, no revenge, no retaliation, a soft heart. Today you need help. Whatever you have spoken in the past about me or my country, today you need help. I will send help. Bring the goodness out of you, then you become a leader. That goodness is very important. It was like in 2007 when in Bristol, England, a cricket match was being played between India and England. England were batting. Ian Bell was at the crease, one of the star batsmen. And just the ball before the tea break, he hit it on the onside towards square leg, and the ball was rolling towards the square leg boundary. The batsman ran 2 complete runs. By the end of the second run, Ian Bell felt that the ball has crossed the boundary and it would just be crossing. Ekdam edge pe tha. So they saw it like it was a 4. And both the batsmen started walking towards the pavilion. It was a tea break. And unfortunately for them, the ball did not cross the boundary, and one of the Indian fielders collected it and threw it on MS Dhoni, the wicketkeeper. And Dhoni ran out them. And they made an appeal, and umpire raised his finger, and Ian Bell was declared run out. And the entire stadium erupted. What is this? It's already a tea break. Both the batsmen are walking towards the pavilion. Half of your fielders have turned around towards the pavilion from the pitch, and you are making run out a person, that to our star batsman Ian Bell. What is this nonsense? And people started throwing bottles, this and that. Technically, Indian team was right. Technically, the umpire's decision was right. Logically, nobody can challenge this decision. According to the cricket book rules, it was 100% perfect. In the dressing room, a couple of English administrators approached a senior player of India, and he said, no, I can't change the decision. Out means out. Sachin Tendulkar came to know about this. He stepped out of his dressing room and said, what is the issue? And he was explained that this is the issue. Sachin said, we do play cricket according to the norms, according to the words of the cricket book. But there are moments where we must go beyond words, beyond norms, beyond books, to show that we play the game in the spirit of the game. Let's call Ian Bell back. And on Sachin's insistence, Sachin being such a character, being such an experienced person and such a respected person in the team, rest all 10 players accepted this. And when Ian Bell walked out with his bat after the tea break, the entire British crowd packed in the stadium, they again stood up with standing ovations. They came to know during the tea break that it is not something going according to the books. Somebody has shown a big heart and playing in the spirit of the game. Later when this incident came out, all had very high regards and respect for Sachin. So see, to bring the goodness out of yourself, sometimes go beyond the words, go beyond the norms and rules. सब कुछ इस पृथ्वी पे कायदा अनुसार नहीं चलता. We are emotional existences. Are you getting what I'm talking? We are emotional existences. We are first emotional and spiritual existences. जैसे वॉरेन बफेट ने बहुत अच्छी बात की है. One of the richest and rather the most richest investor upon this earth. He says that forget that we are human beings on a short spiritual journey. No, actually we are spiritual existences on a very short human journey of 70 years upon this planet. This belief brings out the goodness from you. This belief brings out the goodness in you. And that goodness helps. That goodness creates. That goodness lifts you up. That goodness has the power for you to be accepted in the hearts of people. सचिन तेंदुलकर चेन्नई में एक रेस्टोरेंट में बैठे थे. वेटर सर्व कर रहा था. 2-3 सर्विस के बाद वेटर ने बड़ी हिम्मत जता के सचिन जी को कान में कुछ कहा. और क्या कहा? Sir, I have a small suggestion for your game. Sachin, such a gentle person, such a wonderful character. He said, please, go on. And the waiter was like, sir, really? He said, yes. And the waiter said, sir, the arm elbow that you wear is a bit half an inch or a quarter of an inch oversized, which I feel seeing you. So the pull shots that you play doesn't give you the freedom to go for a full bat swing. So you hook the ball towards a square leg, a bit towards fine leg, but not perfectly towards the deep fine leg. Sachin dekhte reh gaye unke samne. And he said, yeah, you are right. Let me check it tomorrow morning at the nets. And he with his full batting gear went to the nets the next morning and asked the practice bowlers to bowl him a few short pitch deliveries so that he could try to swing his bat and play a shot on the onside, a pull shot. Then he found that he is finding a bit of a trouble for a full swing of the bat because of this arm elbow being probably quarter of an inch oversized. And Sachin changed, the master of the game, the god of cricket, the greatest batsman to walk this planet, 100 international tons. He changed his batting gear on a suggestion of a waiter. That makes him a person to lead. See, leader ये नहीं होते हैं कि उनके पास स्टाफ 1000 का होता है. ये नहीं होते हैं कि 500 करोड़ की कंपनी चलाते हैं. लीडर्स वही होते हैं जिनके जीवन के प्रसंग से आप प्रेरित होते हो. He may be a simple man sitting in a small hut. He may be a simple person walking on the road. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, attitudes, expressions. He can give a better version of it to the world and inspire the world. That is a leader. Bosses, they lead huge administrations. Leaders, they lead huge masses towards betterment of humanity. इतनी तो इंस्पिरेशन आई नहीं कि कभी प्यून आपको कुछ कहे तो प्रेम से सुनना पड़ेगा. आज इतना तो पता चला ना. मैंने मर्सिडीज की आपको बात की, सचिन जी की आपको बात की, तो इतना तो लेके आप जाओगे ना कि कोई छोटा आदमी कभी आपको कोई सजेशन के लिए आएगा तो ये मत बोलना कि मैं एमबीओ और यू आर 2 सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड पास. प्रेम से उसको सुनना. जिसको स्टीफन कॉवी, द मोस्ट डेकोरेटेड मैनेजमेंट गुरु अपॉन दिस अर्थ, ही सेज एम्फेटिक लिसनिंग. द बिगेस्ट क्वालिटी ऑफ अ लीडर इज लिसनिंग. एंड एम्फेटिक लिसनिंग मीन्स don't just listen to answer, which normally is the practice we do. When somebody is talking, we start our minds what to reply, what to argue, how to break his dialogue. Isn't it? Emphatic listening is listen not just to answer, listen to understand the person. Only such people they lead. I have read more than 500 biographies and autobiographies from Gandhi to Nelson Mandela to Abraham Lincoln to Winston Churchill to George Washington to Pramukh Swami Maharaj to Sachin Tendulkar, everybody. Very good listeners. Exceptionally good listeners. And they become great leaders. So in our Sanatana Shastra it is said, let good ideas come to me from all directions. You listen and you get good ideas from people. So leader are those people. And if you decide, you can bring this goodness out of you. एक आखिरी प्रसंग कह के मैं पूरा करता हूं. In the presence of our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj years back in 2008, in a small village called Chinchwada in Dang district in the southern part of the state of Gujarat, a person by the name Ganesh Rawat, he narrated his own incident in the presence of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and in the evening assembly. He said that I was a total drunkard. I used to be in that state of drunkenness 16 to 18 hours in the day. Morning wake up and before I take up my brush, I would start drinking. Because of that, he had problems in the family and naturally it would occur. He would beat up his wife, his children. He was thrown into such a poverty because of this that there were not enough grains in the house even for the next meal. ये परिस्थिति थी. He would start brawls and fights with other villagers in the neighborhood. And because of that, he was a total menace in the whole village. Everybody wanted to outcast him. He once met Pramukh Swami Maharaj. वे प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज को एक बार ये गणेश राउत मिले और गणेश राउत ने ये सब कुछ प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज को बताया. He said all these things. And Pramukh Swami Maharaj caught hold of his hand and said, see, this human life God has gifted to us. It's the greatest gift that anybody gets from God. A beautiful human life of 60, 70, 80 years. 5, 10 plus minus with the grace of God. A human life is a gift by God to you. Bringing out the goodness from your soul and living a God-loving human life is your return gift to God. Return gift to deni padti hai na. Pramukh Swami Maharaj told Ganesh Raut, see, our life should be according to the principles that has been described to us for a perfect human life in the Sanatan scriptures, by the modern thinkers. And living a pure and a pious life is a human dignity. We are here to help people, not harass people. Another thing that Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, that we must be in the well-being with the people, not just be a harassment to the people. And those words were coming out from a very pure soul like Pramukh Swami Maharaj. See, if I take a 303 bullet in my hand and throw at you on your face, you may get hurt. And if I fire the same from a revolver, it can kill a person. Words are the same from where they are coming out. More pious the heart of the speaker, more clean the emotions of the speaker, those words better affect you. गोली वही है, कहां से निकलती है वो देखना है. In the same way, words are the same. जो मैंने प्रवचन किया उसमें से कोई नई बात नहीं है. आप में से कोई भी यहां के ये चीजें बोल सकते हो. More you make yourself pure, the more you will be able to enrich the lives of people. Ganesh Rao decided to enrich his life. He left aside all his addictions. He started to work well for the welfare of the community. Today when I am talking to you, he is the Sarpanch of Chinchwada village and other 6 villages. Though him not residing there, those people have accepted him and said that we don't want to have any elections. You are our Sarpanch as well. So it is a history in the country that is a Sarpanch of 7 villages. And the government of India has conferred upon his village, Chinchwada, as for the Nirmal Gram award that he got under his sarpanchship. There is always space for improvement. You can always enrich your life. You can always bring the goodness out of you, wherever you are, whatever you are. So lastly, reinvent, evolve, and lead. What does it mean in one line? In one line it means a big cross on 3 C's. The first C is control. That means trying to control everything that is around you by your ego. The second C is coterie. My group, only my group, nobody has the entry, we are doing the best. And third C is consume. Big cross on the 3 C's, consume, control, and coterie. And a big right on 3 C's, care, cooperate, and contribute. You reinvent, evolve, and lead. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me, and all my prayers for all of you.